just figured out how to do something new to schedule the live stream. I scheduled it 15 minutes in advance. And so far, I have two of you on. So, yay. I'll do that again in the future and maybe put like 30 minutes in advance. So, hopefully, it'll make it easier for you to know when I'm going live. Well, if this is your first time, watching, my name is Gina, and fix my little camera there. My name is Gina, and I've been on a Mounjaro journey for 17 weeks now, and I'm going to be sharing today the weight that I've lost, any symptoms that, any side effects that I've had, and I'm also going to be sharing about my robotic hysterectomy that's this coming Friday. And what are things we need to do if we're on a Mounjaro or Zepbound journey and we need to have a surgery of any kind? What are special things that we need to do to prepare for the surgery, especially if it's kind of a major surgery, which I guess a hysterectomy is. Oh, look, I got a couple of people on already. Hi, JP. And Taz the Bulldog's mom's here. Yay! Also in the house. And she says, good evening. All right. Oh, and Jennifer Holman's here too. Hi, Jennifer. And she says, hi, everyone. Great. So glad to have you here. And if you can type in that you're here and maybe where you're watching from, that would be so awesome. It just tickles my heart to know that I can share things with people all around the US and around the world. So cool. Okay, so on this Mounjaro journey here is week number 17. First thing you have to do if you are going to have any kind of surgery, even if it's a minor surgery, because I had a minor surgery a month ago, which has led to this major surgery this coming Friday. And one of the things you have to do is, number one, let your surgeon and your anesthesiologist, the guy that or gal that puts you to sleep, let them know in advance that you take Mounjaro or Zepbound, tirzepatide, probably Ozempic and Wegovy, and those two, and any of those GLP-1s. It's so important that they know you take this medication because it slows down your stomach emptying. So for regular people, when right before you have a surgery, they say 8 hours before the surgery, you can't eat any food and you can't even have one teeny tiny sip of water. You're to have 0 water, 0 food. And I believe it was Health at Any Cost was the person who told me on my last video where I was wrong. I said that it's in case you throw up in your mask while you're sleeping, you could choke. And it's actually a little worse than that. So when you're wearing your mask, I guess they're giving you oxygen and stuff. And if you were to throw up a little bit because of the pressure of the airflow and stuff in your mask, it could go back into your lungs. And so you can get like pneumonia from throwing up into your lungs. It can be just nasty. And there's a small percentage, but there's still a percentage of people who can die from that. So it's so important that your doctor knows that you take Mounjaro and that your anesthesiologist knows that you take it. And they're going to tell you how many weeks in advance you have to stop taking your medication. When I told my surgeon for my hysterectomy, he said, I have to skip today's shot. So normally I would be giving myself, because it's Mounjaro Monday, and on Mondays is when I give myself my shot, and I always give it live, unless I forget. I've forgotten a couple of times, but usually I give my shot live during my Mounjaro live, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are thinking about maybe trying Mounjaro, Zepbound, tirzepatide, maybe Ozempic. and they're not sure if they want to go that route yet. And so they're watching videos of people who are on a journey doing it so they can decide for themselves if they really want to get started or not. And they may be nervous. I know I was nervous. I don't like needles. And so it was scary for me, the thought of I'd give myself a shot in the stomach. Are you kidding me? All by myself, I would do that. And it was just so exciting to find out that it doesn't hurt. It's like crazy. It doesn't hurt. It's amazing how it doesn't hurt, but it really doesn't. And so I give myself my shot live for people who haven't given themselves a shot yet, so they can see it really is pretty simple, and it's not very painful. It's really not that bad. But if you're going to have a surgery, you have to stop taking the medicine for a little bit. And both of my surgeons, because I have a different surgeon for my second surgery, because I have at least precancerous cells. And so my first gynecologist who did my first surgery said, I need a oncologist gynecologist just in case there's cancer in my uterus. She wants an oncologist gynecologist to take care of that. So I have a different doctor for this Friday. And he said, as long as I don't take my shot today, and I have, 2 weeks pretty much, between since having had my shot, because I did take it a week ago Monday. He said I would be okay for this Friday's surgery. And I told him I'm going to do what I did with my last surgery. And instead of 8 hours without eating, I'm going to make sure I'm going to stop eating at least 12 hours before my surgery. So my surgery is going to be at 7:30 in the morning. I lucked out. I get to be the first surgery of the day, and I'm really excited about that because I have type 2 diabetes, and I swear I'm always thirsty. And so it's not that hard for me to skip out on eating, but it's crazy hard for me not to drink. I even have a water bottle like this next to my bed. But I won't Thursday night because I'm not to drink water. I mean, I'll be able to drink water up to 11:30 at night, and I probably will have a swig at 11:30. But I'm going to stop eating, probably 13 or 14 hours in advance. I'll have an early dinner on Thursday, and I'm going to make sure it's light. And another thing I'm doing to prepare for surgery, I'm also not going to eat red meat this week because red meat sometimes can take longer to digest in your stomach. And so I'm not having any red meat. I'm having vegetables today because today's just Monday. But Wednesday, I'm going to go a little lighter on my vegetables. And Thursday, I don't know if I'm going to have any vegetables. Because I know that vegetables stay in my stomach longer. There are times that I'll have some carrots, and I've totally have done this. I've had carrots with dinner, and first thing in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll burp a carrot, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I still have carrots in my stomach. And so, I never get sulfur burps, or not yet. I can't say never. I'm only 17 weeks onto this journey, and I'm taking 5 milligrams of Mounjaro. But maybe, when I'm on 10 milligrams someday, I'll have sulfur burps because that is a side effect you can have is sulfur burps. But I've not experienced that yet. But I'll, first thing in the morning, I could burp a carrot. And letting me know that there's still food in my stomach from dinner the night before. So I'm going to go real easy and not eat too much, but I'll eat things that I know are easy to digest. I know for my last surgery, I made Jeff homemade buttermilk pancakes, and they were so delicious with white flour that goes right through. Wow, I haven't seen you play the French horn in a long time.
Or even now.
Wow.
Well, I brought this because you were talking about your gastrointestinal system. It kind of goes around and through, and it takes a long time to get out. And
there you go.
And then sometimes you even.
Oh yes, yes.
There's gas coming out the other side.
The other side too.
So.
Ah. Okay. Hey, for a second there, I thought you were going to do the Star Wars theme song. Can you do part of that?
No.
I
had to practice. I didn't want you to hear.
No. He's not pulled out a French horn in years.
Okay.
Usually he likes to play the ukulele. He's really good at the ukulele. But the French horn, he loves learning things, though.
Do you want to kiss before I go?
Yeah. Do you have anything to share about this week? Anything? About learning about. Today we're talking about planning for if you have a surgery and you're taking Mounjaro. And you're going to be my caregiver this time.
Right. So I was thinking I would practice some songs to help her give her a lullaby to go to sleep.
I will tell you just a fun, quick story. So when my son is 5 years younger than my daughter, and my daughter played the flute, and we went to a concert, and Jacob was in first grade, and he was watching his sister on the stage, and he was just mesmerized. He loved the idea of all the instruments on there, and he was really watching. And when the concert was over, Jeff asked Jacob, "What instrument do you want to play when you're in fifth grade?" And he said, "The French horn." And so Jeff went to
eBay.
Yeah. Well, first you made one from Home Depot. First he went to Home Depot and he made him a French horn out of
PVC and some other things.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
a
funnel. He made a fun pretend one, and then he went on eBay like a month or two later. You want to tell that story?
I got a French horn for him.
And then he thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun if he had his own French horn?
Right.
And he was new to playing around with eBay. My son's 25 now, so it was a lot of years ago. And so he had two French horns, and then he didn't like one of those. And then we ended up with three. We had three French horns, and my son wasn't even old enough to get real lessons at school yet because he's still a first grader. And I remember my first Mother's Day when Jeff and Jacob was in first grade, and they each had their French horns, and they made me breakfast in bed. And I was sitting in bed, and I had the little tray of toast and juice and a little flour. And they each decided to play their French horn for me to give me a little concert. And the two of them were both honking on it. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, this sounds so awful, but it was so precious that they were trying so hard. And I thought there's going to be a day that I'm going to miss this. And, and I do miss it. I'm so glad I'm going to get a grandkid because I miss having a little kid to play around with all the time. But yeah, that was a very special Mother's Day. And this coming weekend is Mother's Day as well. So giving you a reminder, everyone, to get something for your mom. If your mom's still around, or for your wife, yeah, or for your wife, if she's the mother of your kids. But next weekend is Mother's Day already. So thanks for giving me that Mother's Day memory, Jeff.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Nope. That's it. Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. Let's see. And he sounded that good on Mother's Day. So you can imagine two of them going at the same time. Whew. Okay. So let's see, where was I? So preparing. So when you prepare for a surgery, so number one, if your doctor says to or not, because some of them, Mounjaro and Zepbound, they're pretty new medications. I don't know. I just think it's a really good idea to not eat too much a couple of days before your surgery, and especially the day before. That 8 hours I don't think is long enough. So it's not for me. So I want to be careful. So I'm going to eat light. I'm going to eat things that I know digest really well on Thursday, and I'll probably quit around 5 or 6 at night, and still light. Maybe not 6. maybe like 4:35. I don't know. I'm going to stop early for sure and definitely go light, but I'm going to drink my water all the way up to 11:30 because I just can't stand being thirsty. And I'm sure water will be out of me first thing in the morning. So that's something that's crucial if you're going to have a surgery. Um, I also want to share just a little bit about what a robotic hysterectomy is, because I'm going to start another playlist on my Anchor Moments channel for robotic hysterectomies for any ladies who are nervous about needing one of those, and to find out, what does that entail. And so first of all, it entails you got to get ready for it. And what are some things that you need to do to get ready before having this? Oh, and they kick your butt out right now. When I have this surgery, they're going to cut about 4 different incisions in my stomach. And that's where they put the robotic pieces. And then they're taking everything out, the ovaries, the fallopian tubes. I'm getting my cervix out and the uterus. And I don't know exactly how it works, but it's going to come out. It's going to come out. My hoo-ha. It's going to come out down low, and so it's going to have less stitches than if they had to cut all the way across my abdomen, which is really nice. And then after I get out of recovery, I don't know what I have to do. If I have to go to the bathroom, if I have to toot, I have to do something, but just a little something, and they send me home. And so I'm not supposed to spend the night at the hospital, though I am going to pack a bag just in case and have it in the trunk of our car, just in case if they do pull it out and I did have cancer and they have to do a little bit more than they think and want to have me do one overnight at the hospital. Jeff won't have to go home first. We'll have a bag packed for me, but I'm more than likely not going to need that bag. I'm going to mention a few things that I'm thinking of for getting ready for surgery, but please put in the comments anything I forget, because I've never had a big major surgery. My other surgery was a lot smaller. They still had to knock me out and everything, and they called it a true surgery at the hospital, but it was much simpler, where they just took out some polyps and stuff in my uterus. But this one is more significant. So one thing that I did, Jeff and I are Catholic, and so we went to the evening mass last night. And after mass, we asked Father Miguel if he would do the anointing of the sick sacrament. And so he did that for me. And it really did give me a lot of peace. And uh, it just gave me peace to have that. And so I did that. Um, Today I've been working really hard on making vegetable soup, my cabbage vegetable soup. And I do have that recipe and a video of me making it a few years ago that's on my Anchor Moments YouTube channel. You'll find it in the veggie playlist. I have a playlist on making delicious vegetables, and that's in there. And so I've been working on that. I've chopped up all the vegetables, but I haven't put it on the stove yet. But I'll be doing that after this video. But I know the veggie soup's going to be important because I'm going to need a lot of fiber after my surgery, because constipation happens when you have the medicine that makes you go to sleep can be highly constipating. And so I already know I get constipation from Mounjaro too. So I want to be sure that I'm covered. So I've made I'm making tonight a bunch of veggie soup, and I'll be putting it in little containers in the freezer. So I have it ready to go. So Jeff just has to heat it up for me. I've also made, I make another really good recipe, black beans. When I make, from where you get the bag of hard black beans, I soak them overnight, and then I put them in a crock pot with water. And then I add a pound of maple bacon, and I chop up 3 big potatoes into little squares, and I throw that in there too, a bunch of fresh garlic. And then I let it cook all day long. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so delicious. And then when it's done cooking, I'll add a little bit of onion salt to it, and then just a little bit of maple syrup, just to bring up the maple just a smidge more. Oh, it's so good. With the potatoes kind of melt into it too, and the bacon, and it makes like this awesome little gravy. And it's very high in protein, and it's very high in fiber. So I made some of that last week and I put it in the freezer. So I've got that good to go. Um, I'm going to make sure that I have the grocery shopping done and I have easy things for, because Jeff is not the cook of the family. I'm the one who usually does all the cooking. And we do have a playlist though called No Chef Jeff, and it's hilarious. Jeff puts on a little chef's hat, and he's very silly, and he learns to make some things that are very easy to make with epicure spices. And so he has done some of those, but really, he doesn't cook. So I'm trying to make it easy for him so he can heat up meals for me, since he's going to be my caregiver this time, since I was his caregiver from his bladder cancer surgery. And that was just January. This has been quite the year for us. Another thing I'm doing is all my laundry, because you're not supposed to do laundry for at least 3 weeks. There, or longer. You're not supposed to lift more than 10 pounds for 6 weeks after the surgery. So Jeff is going to be in charge of the laundry, but I'm going to make sure that at least we start off, everything's going to be clean. And I'm going to wash the sheets for my bed on the night before the surgery, or the afternoon before the surgery. So I have clean sheets to sleep on and to come home to. So Jeff won't have to mess with that. And I'm cleaning my bedroom and bathroom, because Jeff's going to be able to take a couple of days off with me. And it's nice that my surgery's on a Friday, but he's taking Friday off and Monday off. But I might need to have a friend come in and help me with something. And so it'd be kind of nice to have my bedroom and bathroom clean, so I'm not embarrassed. I'm going to make sure that I've stocked up on Gas X, not just for hysterectomies, but other surgeries that you have. Even when Jeff had his bladder cancer surgery, they put a bunch of air in your tummy, and they do that especially when they do robotic surgery, they put a bunch of air in there so they can see what they're doing. And that can give you some painful gas. And so, and the paperwork that they gave me from my doctor's office, they said that, Gas X could be helpful. So I'm going to make sure I have plenty of Gas X, and and I'm going to make sure I have plenty of Miralax and Colace stool softener tablets. My primary care doctor did tell me that it is safe for me, for the medications that I currently take, that it's okay for me. I could have a Colace and a Miralax every day if I needed to, even if, just regular. I try not to on most days, but every now and again I do. But I will be doing it every day after my surgery. And if I do really well and I poop before Monday evening, when I do my Mounjaro Monday live next Monday, I will give myself my shot if I've pooped beforehand. If I haven't, then I might wait another week. But I'll still chat with you guys and still come on. And let's see. I have to do a type and screen test at the hospital so that they know. I know my blood is A positive, but they make you do blood tests there so they know for sure that your blood is whatever, in case you do too much bleeding during the surgery. They can give you a pint, and they want to make sure they give you the right one. And I've been A positive my whole life. I've been a blood donor my whole life, but it doesn't matter. They want you to do a fresh one within 3 days of surgery. So I know I have to go and do that. And I wash the sheets, pack a bag. We set up a text group on our phone from when Jeff had his surgery. But it's an important thing to have family members that care enough about you that they would want to know that you got out of surgery okay. And so it's always good to have a text group ready. And I do have that done this week. And if someone asks if they can help you, it's good to have a couple of ideas of a way they could help. And what I'm asking, when people are asking me that, I'm going to let them know if they like to cook. Uh, they're more than welcome to bring a meal. That would just make Jeff thrilled that he wouldn't have to make dinner. And then I'm just going to ask them to not give me dessert because I'm just so worried about gaining weight because I'm not going to be very active. I'm not supposed to do any strenuous, vigorous uh, exercise for at least 3 weeks. I mean, at the 3 week mark, they said I could swim. So I'm really excited about that. But I don't know. It says in my paperwork 6 weeks before I do vigorous exercising. And uh, oh, so anyway, so just, but I am going to have ice cream because by golly, ice cream makes me feel better. I am an emotional eater and I'm going to allow myself to have some ice cream. And if I have strawberry ice cream, that's my favorite because I think it's really delicious. But I can stop after a third cup of strawberry ice cream. That's 95 calories. I can have a third cup and I could be satisfied. And if I need a little more than that, then I can have the 190 calories. But there are some ice creams that have like caramel and fudge ripples through it and stuff. And by golly, if I have that, I could have 2 bowls and still want more. So I know my strawberry ice cream will make me content. So I'm going to have that for desserts. I've already decided that. And then another thing people could do when someone says, can they help? I'm not allowed to drive for 2 weeks after the surgery. And so, and that's a doctor's orders thing, no driving for 2 weeks. And Jeff is going to be going back to work. So I think I'm going to have a couple of friends on call that that if I were to need something or a ride somewhere, that that maybe they could pick me up and take me, because I do have a couple of really good friends who live within a mile radius of me. So I'm very blessed that way to have great neighbors and great friends. And then another thing I have on this list here, it was kind of scary. They ask at the hospital if you have a living will, and they'd like to have a copy of it. I'm not to where I want them to have a copy per se, because I will have Jeff in the waiting room and he's the one who gets to make the decisions if I can't make a decision for myself. And we did create living wills for each other, and we have it in a special binder in our house. And Jeff knows where that binder is. So I would think the hospital is 10 minutes away from our house. So if it looks like we're going to need the living will, he can drive home and get it. But it would be good for him to remember where he put it. But it's by his computer in his office. So that's something that they ask you to do to prepare for surgery. It's not something you want to hear, though. You think, oh my gosh, do you think it's going to be that bad? But you never know. And that is why I always give Jeff a kiss when he comes in before he leaves that door again. When he had his first of his 2 cancer surgeries, you don't know. You don't know. Sometimes flukes happen, and sometimes you don't make it when you have a surgery. And so I just have decided every day after his first cancer surgery is a bonus day. And it's a day I could have not had Jeff, and I have him. And I'm so grateful that I have him. He is so precious and he's funny, and he has been the love of my life for 36 years, because we dated for 2 years before we got married. And so for 36 years, he has been the light of my life. And I could have lost him big time, and I didn't. So every day with him now is a bonus day. And now that poor guy has to go, oh crap. He didn't think that we were going to lose me. So Friday when I come home after the surgery, every day after that is a bonus day that Jeff gets to have me too. So we're very aware of how precious life is and how we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And we really need to appreciate our loved ones today while we have them. And so that should be on the list too, to contact, family members before your surgery and just let them know, hey, that you love them and you're thinking about them, and you know, so that your last words are always sweet words and happy words. Okay, that is all I have for getting ready for surgery. If I forgot something, you guys, and you've had a surgery and you're like, oh, Gina didn't remember, that another good thing to do to prepare is, I don't know what. Oh, wait, I know what I'm going to do also. I am going to take a Miralax on Wednesday and on Thursday, just to be sure, because one dose of Miralax doesn't give me diarrhea or anything, but it'll make sure that I'm at least starting off regular before my surgery happens. So that way, I don't have anything backed up, because that wouldn't be very fun. That's it. I can't think of anything else. So now, and I've been thinking about it all day. I made a list. So let me know, what am I forgetting? And and weight loss. So I always going to tell you the truth. I actually had messaged JP earlier and let him know that, yeah, April 30th. That was the big day. We found out that Jeff, they looked up and they saw that he didn't have cancer. So that was great, that he's clean at the moment. And so for the next 3 months, he doesn't have to do anything. And I got to meet my oncology gynecologist for the first time on April 30th. And I tell you what, we ate a lot, and I didn't write down what I ate. We went out to eat twice in one day. I didn't think that the 5 milligrams of Mounjaro would spank me anymore. I thought, I'm so used to the 5 milligrams now. And what I mean by spanking, when I first started the 2.5, I got a spanking. If I remember the first meal I had at 2.5, I had Costco's shepherd's pie. Oh my God. Or was that the second week? I don't know. I just know that I had, maybe that was the first week of the 5 milligrams. That's right. When I had the 2.5 milligrams, the first week of my 2.5 milligram shot, I had a tamale and a bowl of my cabbage soup together. And my cabbage soup's a little spicy because I make it chili flavored. So I put all the chili kind of spices in it. And so it was a very spicy dinner. And I got a spanking afterwards. I didn't throw up, but my stomach was a little upset. And I was like, whoa, I got to be careful. And I was thinking it wasn't that many calories because the tamale just had 300 calories and my soup was just vegetables. So I thought I was having a good, low calorie, nutritious meal, but it gave me a little bit of spanking. And it was my first spanking where I was like, whew, I've got a little bit of a tummy ache. I've got to be careful. And then my first time taking the 5 milligrams, I had Costco shepherd's pie. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things. So delicious. It's got the mashed potatoes on top and ground beef and in like a little kind of gravy sauce with some veggies too. But and a crust and a pie crust at the bottom. It was too rich, and I had too much of it. And it gave me a spanking. It gave me a stomach ache. That was when I had my big 2 mistakes in week 4, if you want to catch that video. But oh gosh, it was bad. And I didn't have anything in the house. I didn't have Tums. I didn't have Pepcid Complete. I didn't have anything. I didn't have Pepto-Bismol. I had nothing in the house for stomach aches because I never get stomach aches. And so I've never gotten a spanking, and I could eat a whole bunch and I get a spanking, and I deserve some spankings because it would keep me from eating so much. And I got a huge spanking then. Oh, it was terrible. It was coming out both ends. It was at the same time. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. And then I knew Jeff went out and got me different stomach things, which, by the way, one of my viewer friends let me know that I'm lucky Tums works for me. Most of the time, if I have a little bit of a stomachache, because I got a little bit of a spanking because I ate a little bit too much or ate something that was too rich and fatty, I'll get a little bit of a stomach ache. And sometimes just a tall glass of water and 2 Tums, and I'm fine. And that feeling goes away, and I'm good to go. And if it doesn't, then I take a Pepcid Complete, one Pepcid Complete tablet, and that does the trick for me. And both of those are over the counter, but you still need to ask your doctor, because I have another viewer friend who has a hernia, and her hernia medication, she can't take Tums. It would be a problem. It would be a problem. And her doctor said, you can't do that while you're on this hernia medication. So you always need to, even though something's over the counter meds and you can just walk into the grocery store or your pharmacy and buy it, you have to be sure. And you can ask your pharmacist if you aren't able to ask your doctor. Your pharmacist knows, and you can tell your pharmacist, these are the medications I'm taking. Can this over-the-counter medication, is it okay? Can I take it with this stuff? And they know. That's their job to know. And if they don't know, they look it up, and they know how to look it up, and they'll look it up right in front of you. And I've done that many a time, and they're always wonderful. It doesn't even have to be your pharmacy, because I know Costco's pharmacy is closed on Sunday. I can go to a Walgreens or a CVS that's pharmacy is open, and I can ask that pharmacist, and they'll still tell you. They'll be really kind, and you can buy some gum or something on the way out. But you can get that information. But that's important to know. All right, I think that's all I got. Oh wait, I didn't tell you guys how much weight I lost. So I ate too much April 30th, and I got a little bit of a spanking. Didn't throw up, but I did need a couple of Tums. Thought about maybe needing the Pepcid Complete, but I did okay. But first thing in the morning, I had a little spanking again, and I hadn't had breakfast yet, but just on May 1st, and had a tall glass of water and 2 Tums before I had breakfast, and I did fine. But then I knew, okay, my Mounjaro 5 milligrams is working. The difference is I haven't needed a spanking because I've been a good kid. I've been eating cleaner and healthier, and I've been eating smaller meals. So there's no reason for me to have a spanking. So I hadn't been pushing the limits. And so the 5 milligrams evidently is still working for me. And then on May 2nd, I also ate more than I normally do. We had a celebration potluck with our neighbors to celebrate that Jeff didn't need to have any more treatments for the next 3 months. So we were excited about that and threw a spontaneous party. And I ate a little bit more than I normally would. But that was just 2 days. The other 5 days in the week, I was wonderful. And I went swimming, and I ate very healthy within my 1,200 to 1,700 calories that I shoot for. And I lost a pound this week. So I'm so excited about that, because I was worried, because I had 2 days that I did eat more than I would normally eat. But I'm now down 21 pounds in 17 weeks time. I've lost 21 pounds. So lost another pound this week. So I'm really happy about that. And that's all my stuff. So now I'm going to read all these wonderful things that you have been writing in the comments. And if you have a question right now and you haven't written one yet, go ahead and write something down, and I will answer it to the best of my ability. So let's see here. Donna says, hi, Miss Gina. And Taz's mom says, you can call CYN. LOL. My channel name is so long. Oh, are you Cindy? And we call you Sin? You do have a long name, but it is fun to say Taz's mom. Taz the bulldog's mom. All right, Sin. And Sin says, Fort Mojave, Arizona. Oh my gosh, so you're close. That is so cool. We'll have to meet up sometime. I'm in Chandler, Arizona. And Jennifer Holman says, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Oh, how cool. And Mindy says, hi from Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, I've always wanted to go to North Carolina. We have a van that's been converted into an RV, and we have another channel called Anchor Moments RV. And when Jeff retires in July, we want to be able to go on trips. And North Carolina and South Carolina, I've never been to the Carolinas. They are on my bucket list. How fun. And I've been to Tennessee, and I love Tennessee. I went to Nashville last year and absolutely love Tennessee. So beautiful. Elizabeth says, hello, Gina. Good luck on your upcoming surgery. Sending you good luck, Juju, from New Orleans. Another place I've never been that I have on my bucket list too. I've only been to a handful of states, I guess. There's a lot of places I need to go. And oh, New Orleans would be so fun. And Linda's journey says, hi from Chesapeake, Virginia. Oh, and Virginia. I want to go to Virginia in the fall. Your fall leaves are amazing. I've seen pictures and I love fall leaves. I'm originally from Sterling, Illinois. And I do miss the four seasons. I love it here in Arizona, and I love my friends and family, but I miss fall. I miss fall. Fall is so beautiful. And Donna Posey says she's from Portland, Oregon. I'm on Ozempic and lost 13 pounds. Yay! That's great. And hey, Donna, are you having a hard time getting your Ozempic, or is it easy to find? I will say, last week for the first time, I got a text notice from my Costco pharmacy saying they were sold out of my 5 milligram Mounjaro. So I went in to see him and I said, do you have 7.5? Because, maybe I could have my doctor up me to the 7.5. And they said, no, the only thing they could get at that time was 2.5. And that was it. And I was like, well, I'll wait because I knew I wasn't going to be able to take my shot today anyway. And so I'd have like a little bit longer. And I just got a notification this afternoon that they got, my Costco got my 5 milligrams of Mounjaro. So I'm really glad about that. I'll be picking that up tomorrow morning, which is another piece of advice. If your pharmacy finds your Mounjaro or Zepbound, or if it's been low on Ozempic, your Ozempic, and they say they've got it for you, you got to hustle over there and pick it up. You don't want it to sit for a few days because it might end up going to another person. I've been hearing that in some of the Facebook groups and stuff that people say, hey, you got to be careful. So you definitely, as soon as you can, go over. And I would have gone, but I was in the middle of chopping up vegetables this afternoon. And I thought, okay, tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm going to Costco to pick up that prescription. So that way I know I'm going to be okay for a while. Let's see. And Val is waving and says, what's your surgery? I hope it goes smoothly. I'm going to have a robotic hysterectomy, and I hope it goes smoothly too. I really do. And I'm going to, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I will have a playlist, and I might even just have Jeff tape me for 2 minutes on his phone. How do you feel today? Day 1. How do you feel today? Day 2, or whatever. So I have information for anyone else who needs a robotic hysterectomy. I'll have a playlist, and they'll be able to see what to expect. And anyway, let's see here. Where did I go? Okay, here we go. And Taz's mom says, hi, Jeff. He is so funny. He is a funny guy. I never know what he's going to do. And Val says, thanks for the horn. And Karen says, hi, Gina. And Val says, my daughter just had that done. It went well. Oh, good. So she had one of those hysterectomies. And I'm glad it went well for her. And Pamela Gomez says, hi, Gina from Bakersfield, California. And oh, yes, that gas from surgery hurts a lot. That's what I've heard. And it gives you like shoulder pains too, which is kind of weird that it goes up that high, that it would give you radiated pain in your shoulder. And Elizabeth says, you can take a walk. It's good for you when you are stronger. Work up to it. That is what I've heard. And I asked my doctor about that. Is it okay? Because one of my viewers said that when she had her hysterectomy, she walked through the neighborhood and waved at her neighbors, and her doctor said, you're not, you're supposed to take it easy. And so I asked my doctor, can I go for a walk or, and he said it'd be fine just to take it easy. And he said, you'll know if you're going too hard because it'll hurt and you'll bleed a little bit. And then you'll know you really need to slow down. So I know I'm supposed to take it easy, but I can add some walks in, and I'm really thankful for that, because I'm going to want to do a little bit of that, and it'll probably have to be early morning or late in the evening because it's May in Arizona, so it's getting hot. And I only have to wait 3 weeks to go swimming. So I was really excited about that because I didn't want to have to wait 6 or 8 weeks for swimming. So I just have 3 weeks that I'm going to have to not be in the pool. Okay. And Michelle sending me some prayer hands. And Megalosing says, hi, sorry I'm late. Yay for a pound loss. Thank you, Megalosing. And Pam says, I cooked up grass-fed ground beef with onions and garlic. Then I soaked beans, the mixture from 15 bean soup, since it has such good, variety. Yep, variety of beans for protein. And I add the beans to the meat for more protein. Oh, yeah. And you know what? I do have a 15 bean soup in my pantry. The dried beans that says 15 bean soup. So yeah, so I could try that sometime too. That sounds delicious. And Mindy says, come to Charlotte. I will treat you and Jeff to some barbecue. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Thank you, Mindy. And Judy says, you are doing great. You are certainly prepared. So glad you get to come home the same day of surgery. Don't forget the strawberry ice cream. Oh yeah. I bought a fresh half gallon of that. And both yesterday and today, I've had a third cup, which is 95 calories when you do the Breyers brand. I'll do just about any brand of strawberry ice cream, but I really like the Haagen-Dazs. But I'm liking the Breyers just as much, and the Breyers has fewer calories. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, and the second it's out, Jeff's gonna have to go and buy me another. You know what? I might even buy a bonus container now. You're right, before Friday, because I do not want to be out of my strawberry ice cream. And Pam says, then I mix up salad and into a bowl and have a few siesta chips. Good for meal prep too. Oh yeah, that would be delicious. I was so happy Costco got some Mounjaro in too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was worried because I thought, here's my time where I'm not going to get it. But I only had to wait a week. So that wasn't too bad. And probably be longer if I did 7.5, because they did tell me the 7.5 they hadn't seen for over a month. So it was good that the 5 is still doing the trick for me. And Sin says, I start my 10 on Wednesday. Wow, I was 274 and now 237. Yay! That's awesome. That's a lot of weight loss. Good job, Cindy. And when you start your 10 on Wednesday, be sure you have whatever it is in your house that'll make a stomach ache feel better and heartburn feel better. Have some stuff like that just in case, because sometimes when you move up, that first week can be a little iffy. And then you'll be fine probably the second week. But just have things just in case. Maybe Murphy's Law, you have it in the house and then you don't need it. It's when you don't have it that you really wish you would have. Let's see. And another Pamela Nelly, maybe? Says, thank goodness for the newer technology. Robotic surgery seems less traumatic on the body. Yeah. It's supposed to be a lot better and a lot easier for us. We still get the warning that, they do still do all the trauma on the inside, but there's less trauma on the outside to have the little incisions instead of a big long incision. And I had two C-sections with both of my kids. And my first one, I was 27, and I felt so good so fast. I remember after a week, I was like, "This was nothing. I'm fine." And I thought, "Well, this is the way to have a baby. Just have the surgery. That'd be so much easier than pushing it out and maybe tearing." And when I had my second C-section, I was 5 years older, so I was 32, and my doctor was out of town, so I had to have the doctor that was on call, and he did his stitches differently, where it had it like this weird knot, and it took me a long time. When I went in for my 6 month or 6 month, felt like 6 months, my 6 week checkup, I remember telling my doctor. That it still hurt when I rolled over in bed. And I wanted to know when it was going to stop because it bothered me the entire 6 weeks. And it took me a while. I can't remember when the pain stopped, but it may have been 12 weeks for me to feel better after that one because of the way he did the stitches, and he pulled it like extra tight and had this really weird long, like an inch long knot. I don't know. It was weird, and it was really uncomfortable. So anyway, I'm glad I'm not going to have a big long thing. That it'll be the smaller one. So hopefully I'll be jumping around feeling great after a week. We'll see. And I'm a lot older than 33 now. I'm 57. Okay, and Jennifer says prayers at 7:30 a.m. on Friday, Gina and Jeff, for peace for you and wisdom for your medical team. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That means a lot to me, and it'll mean a lot to Jeff too when he's sitting in the waiting room. And Taz the Bulldog's mom says, "Yep, I will. Thank you for the reminder. Praying for God's hands be extended to all those who come in your path on Friday." Thank you, Sin. And JP says, "Hiya, Gina. I joined late, but watching the replay later. Work call last minute came in." I totally understand that. I'm a little later tonight because this is Teacher Appreciation Week, and Jeff works for the district office here in town for the school district. And there was a bunch of things he had to do for Teacher Appreciation Week. So he was late coming home, which made it a little later to do the thumbnail and everything. So I appreciate everyone who's staying up late watching this. And Pamela says, "I had abdominal surgery 20 years ago, ovarian ectopic, and it was a terrible recovery. C-section with my triplets was much easier." Yeah, and I'm going to have my ovarian or my ovaries taken out and stuff too. We'll see. We'll find out. It is what it is. But I'm just thankful that it'll be over. And at some point, I'm going to feel great. And I will have all those body parts out. And I won't be able to have future cancer in them because they'll be gone. They'll be taken out. So hopefully it'll be all good, all said and done. And Mega Losing said, "God has you." He really does. And I'm just tickled pink that it's going to be on May 10th. All of my doctor's visits, so many places I was able to see God's handiwork. And yeah, it could have very well have been into July, and it would have cost me double. And so I'm really thankful that that my surgeon was able to get me in really quickly. And it'll be this Friday, ready or not, here it comes. Okay, it's late, and I've been chatting with you for long enough. I got to go finish making my soup. I got most of my vegetables chopped up, and it's time to put it all together. And then I always have to cook it for a couple of hours, really melt it down and get all the flavors blended and everything. So it'll be extra good. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Know that I appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, JP. Oh, thank you so much for giving me a super chat. That just makes my heart smile. Thank you so much. And JP says, we'll be thinking about you on Friday. Thanks, JP. Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell Jeff, we can buy ice cream with that. We'll have that be my strawberry ice cream fund there, JP. So thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that big time. I really do. And wow, and that's my 5th super from JP. It says that right on here. YouTube's let me know that it's wow, the 5th super on a live stream. And that is so cool. And JP, you got some stickers. Those are gonna be in the mail before my surgery on Friday. So you'll get a special Anchor Moment sticker too. So thanks so much. And Pam says, have a blessed evening. And that's so cool. Yeah, you guys are awesome. You rock. And just thanks for everything. You guys are wonderful. And no Sunday Atomic Habits because it's Mother's Day weekend. So I want you guys to be able to spend some time with family if you can. And we'll do that the following weekend, but I will do a live on next Monday. All right. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.